When I picked up my phone to call my son Ethan and ask when his wedding would be, his fiancée Grace looked me straight in the eye and said with a cold, deliberate smile, "Oh, we already got married yesterday. We only invited special people." Those words hit me like a fist to the chest. Special people. I, who had paid their rent for 3 years, $600 every month, who had bought every piece of furniture in their apartment, who had filled their pantry when they had nothing to eat, was not special enough. I stood there in my living room, holding my phone like it weighed 1,000 pounds. Ethan looked away. Grace sat down on my sofa, the one I had bought for them, crossed her legs, and started scrolling on her phone like nothing had happened. The pale blue dress I had bought for their wedding hung untouched in my closet. I had spent hours picking it, imagining how happy I'd look in Ethan's wedding photos, photos that would never include me. For weeks, I had saved every extra dollar to give them 1,000 as a wedding gift. I'd cleaned my home from top to bottom, thinking they might come celebrate after the ceremony. But all of that, every plan, every bit of joy, collapsed with those 4 poisoned words. Only special people. When Ethan finally spoke, his voice sounded rehearsed. "Mom, it was small, just the two of us and a couple of witnesses." But I knew he was lying, because the next morning I saw the photos. Grace's parents smiling proudly beside them, her siblings raising champagne glasses. Her in a lace wedding dress I had partly paid for with the $700 I'd given her the month before for bills. A week later, Grace called me again, her voice suddenly soft and trembling. "Evelyn, the rent's due. The landlord says if we don't pay this week, we'll be kicked out. You forgot to send the transfer." Forgot? The irony almost made me laugh. For 3 years, I had never missed a single payment. I had rushed to the bank on stormy days, canceled my own plans, eaten canned soup for dinner, all to make sure they were comfortable. And now, after excluding me from the most important moment of my son's life, they had the nerve to call as if nothing had happened. "Grace," I said, my voice calm and steady, "didn't I tell you I only help special people?" The silence on the line was sharp enough to cut glass. "Evelyn, what are you talking about?" she stammered. "You're like a second mom to me." Lies. Sweet, practiced lies. That night I sat in bed doing something I had avoided for years. I added up the numbers. Rent, $600 by 36 months, $21,600. Groceries and bills, about $200, 36 equals $7,200. Gifts, emergencies, repairs, another $5,000 at least. Over $33,000. $33,000 gone. My savings, my pension, the money my late husband had left me for peace in my old age. I had traded all of it for the illusion of being loved. When I woke the next morning, something inside me had shifted. I brewed my coffee, sat at the same table where I'd cried so many nights, and decided I was done. At 10 a.m., I walked into my bank and asked Mr. Harris, the branch manager, to cancel every automatic transfer. He blinked in surprise. "Are you sure, Mrs. Lane? You've been sending that money for years." "Yes," I said. "I've been asleep for years. It's time to wake up." While he processed the request, my phone vibrated nonstop. Ethan, Grace, Ethan again. I turned it off. That afternoon, for the first time in years, I took a walk simply because I wanted to. The sun felt warm. The air smelled like spring. When I returned home, I froze. 3 cars sat in front of my driveway, Ethan's, Grace's, and a black sedan I didn't recognize. Inside my living room stood my son, his wife, and a man in a gray suit flipping through papers on my dining table. "What's going on here?" I demanded. Grace stepped forward, her voice sugar-coated but tight. "Oh, thank God you're here. This is Mr. Dalton, an attorney. We just want to help you, Evelyn. You've been acting strangely. We're worried you might be confused." "Confused?" I repeated slowly. Ethan nodded, not meeting my eyes. "Mom, canceling all your transfers without talking to us. It's not like you. We think maybe you need help managing things. We talked to Mr. Dalton about temporary guardianship, just to make sure you're safe." I looked at the man, then at the table where my private bank statements lay open. "You went through my personal documents?" "Only to protect you," Grace said softly. "We don't want you to make decisions you'll regret." For a moment, I just stared at them, the people I had sacrificed everything for. "You want to control my money," I said. "That's all this is." "Mom, don't be dramatic," Ethan snapped. "We have bills, the rent, the car payment." "And that's my problem, how?" I cut him off. Mr. Dalton cleared his throat. Mrs. Lane, I assure you, this is all legal. Your children only want what's best. If you refuse, we may have to pursue conservatorship. I walked to the trash can and threw his papers straight into it. The only thing you'll pursue is the door. All of you. Get out. Grace's face turned red. You can't do this to us. Everything you have will belong to Ethan one day anyway. And that, I said, is exactly why you'll never get another cent from me. They left in a storm of anger and threats. Before Ethan walked out, he turned back. Mom, you're going to end up all alone. No one's going to take care of you. I smiled sadly. I've been alone for a long time, Ethan. The difference is, now it's by choice. That night, I couldn't sleep. Not from sadness, but from adrenaline. I had taken my life back. The next morning, I met with my lawyer, Mr. Howard, a kind man who had handled my husband's estate years ago. After hearing everything, he said, Mrs. Lane, this is elder financial abuse. We'll protect your assets and document everything. Together, we reviewed every transfer, every message, every favor. He whistled softly when he saw the total. With this money, he said, you could have traveled the world. When I left his office, I felt light, free. I changed my locks, installed cameras, opened a new account, and rewrote my will. A week later, Ethan sent one last message. Mom, please, let's fix this. We were just stressed. I didn't reply. Instead, I booked a small trip to Oregon, somewhere I'd always dreamed of visiting but never had the courage to go. As the train moved along the coast, I looked out the window and smiled. For the first time in years, my money, my peace, and my choices belonged only to me. And in that quiet moment, I realized something I should have known all along. I didn't need to be special to anyone. I only needed to be special to myself.